Hello listeners everywhere. Welcome to the Archive of Audio Antiquities, a voyage into the vault of wonders on the wireless. In a moment, Simon Exton and Ken Moss will be here to speak to you.
Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome back to the Archive of Audio Antiquities. I'm Ken Moss.
I'm Simon Exton.
This time, it's the second of our voyages into pirate territory. It's Doctor Who and the Pirates. Kyar! Doctor Who and the Pirates was written by Jacqueline Rayner, published by Big Finish Productions, starring Colin Baker as the Doctor with Maggie Stables as Evelyn Smythe. It's a 4-part story. Right.
I blame you for this.
This is entirely my fault, as I was thinking when I put the CDs in the player. We're doing this.
Maybe listen to the reason I stopped listening to the Big Finish main range.
I have to fess up, I've never finished this. I played it once up until I think about the start of episode 3 when I bought it. I stopped it and I've never listened to it since. Oh dear, I've really got to apologise for this.
Yes, you have. You are watching the Corridor People again for this.
Fuck me tight.
You know what always goes well with cake and a cuppa? A good story. And you know what makes a good story? Pirates.
We were serving under Ezekiel Bones, the most feared man ever to sail these seas. It was near the Ruby Islands.
This is awful. Pirates. We've already established that.
I say, what's going on? My hammock's all wet. Oh!
Don't you worry, Captain Swanson. No pirate will take the brave sea eagle.
You think so, do you?
You're no pirate.
I take that as a compliment.
You're not going to sing.
Cowards! You rotters! Better to die a loyal subject than succumb to the lawlessness of piracy.
I can feel it in me bones. That treasure is still there.
Treasure? Well, me name, you see. Me name's really James, see. Only they took to calling me Jem. Said he was glad he hadn't brought all the other gems home, because one was enough for him.
I'm sorry, Dr. Smythe, but this is just ridiculous.
Oh, all right. Let's say he only had one wooden leg.
And what's more, I will have it.
Oh, no. You are going to sing.
Well, yes, I am.
I'm going to go into this with the caveat that I absolutely love piratical things. Can't get enough. Favourite book is Treasure Island. This is dreadful.
Yes, it has no idea what it wants to be. I'll start with the positives. Most of the performances are good. Note I'm saying most. The sound design is wonderful. It really captures the whole nautical boat thing. There you go. There's my positives.
The sound design is not on my list. That was one of the things at the time that I didn't think it got right.
Well, you thought it was a bit heavy-handed?
No, I just didn't think it... You had to really struggle to picture yourself on the ships.
That's nothing to do with the sound design. That's because they keep doing this ridiculous breaking the fourth wall and going back to the Sally and the flat thing, changing the plot as she going along as she points out problems with it. In the hands of a skilled writer, that could be an interesting way to tell a story. The two big problems that this has, three of you include Bill Oddie being in End of the Pier pantomime. And God bless the man, he is hilarious in the goodies. He comes across as a lovely person, but he's not a trained actor. He was doing a comedy turn that would have been hammy in a pantomime. his portrayal did not work. Stuck out a country mile in a whole load of other pretty good portrayals. There is the potential for a good story. Actually, there's a potential for about 8 good stories here, all cobbled together, none of which are given room to breathe. The Doctor and Evelyn saving Sally. Interesting story. The Doctor and Evelyn on some sort of mystical, fantastical pirate by the cliched numbers. Potentially good pantomime story. The Doctor and Evelyn doing a gritty, realistic pirate story, cabin boy beaten to death because he won't tell what he doesn't know. That had the potential to be a good, if grim, story. Whatever the fuck Bill Oddie was doing, no, get in the bin. And the singing, Jesus fuck me tight, the singing, that was painful. Absolutely painful. Rebuttal?
It's very difficult to rebut you on something that you've been pretty much on point with. This was during a period of...
Very long-winded way of saying I agree.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm still got the damn thing playing in my head, despite the fact that I don't want it to. This was during a period of Big Finish where they were experimenting wildly in a way that they wouldn't get away with now. So, positives first. They were experimenting wildly with different formats and styles. 90% of it actually did pay off. You've got your odd Zagreus, and this, they didn't. Because whatever Doctor Who has been, it's always pushed and tried new things. Some have succeeded, some haven't. But they had the license and they were going in a direction. We'll have a year for the 40th anniversary where we'll try things just because we can. So they did the whole Unbound series. Some landed, some didn't. This was the attempt at musical Doctor Who. It's called Doctor Who and the Pirates. Doctor Who, with one exception, which was an accident, was never called Doctor Who and the anything. The musical thing, I would say it's a nice try, but it isn't a nice try. It doesn't fit Doctor Who. I hate musical numbers in Doctor Who. It doesn't fit. Nobody in real life would burst into spontaneous song and know all the words and everybody joins in. It just never happens. I thought Colin Baker's singing, getting that HMS Pinafore or Pirates of Penzance or whatever the hell the songs are from, I hate all that, I've got to be honest. But his performance, his getting his mouth around those words, you try it, because I bloody couldn't. So as a piece of panto or a piece of musical, yeah, great, but it doesn't fit Doctor Who. I thought the whole saving Sally thing, really you get towards the end and it's more salving Evelyn's wound rather than saving Sally. So it's left openly ambiguous as to... It was a nice attempt, but clumsily pulled off, because that whole first episode, it bounced backwards and forwards between Evelyn very clumsily telling a story. So you're not engaged in the story, and as a result, you're not engaged in the flat with Sally either, because it's so... She just wants her to get out, and Evelyn's being an annoying twat, and then Doctor turns up and he's an annoying twat as well, won't get out of the flat. So there's nothing at all to like that's comfortable about episode 1. It's just all really clumsily done. Episode 2, it settles down a bit, but it's still trying too hard. It's neither one thing nor the other. Bill Oddie is there, unfortunately, a lot. I think the only bit that stood out to me was quite a nasty bit, actually, and it was really well done. It was when Evelyn's dishing out chocolate, dairy milk, on the ship, and one character just gets his tongue ripped out by the roots. That was quite unpleasant.
Yeah.
But that's it. That was the standout for me.
But really didn't work because Bill Oddie's performance was straight out of the goodies.
Yeah. Oh, I really, really didn't enjoy this. This was a slog. This was lauded at the time as this great tear-jerking play. And it ain't. I'll grant you, some of the performances in it are very good. Because she crops up a billion times in Big... I'm just going to look at the cast list. Yeah, it is. It's Helen Goldwyn, who's been in hundreds of these things. Yeah.
She was the one that had quite a nice singing voice.
Oh, yes. Performance-wise, there is only Bill Oddie that really lets it down. They can only do what they can with the material they're given, but I think that all of them were pretty good. And in fairness, I've got to come down on the side of Jack Rayner here, because she's written this, and I'm really surprised, because I've really enjoyed a lot of her other stuff. She's written a lot of Doctor Who across the media over the years. The Marian Conspiracy is the one that leaps out because...
apart from the fact it introduces Evelyn, is very historical by the numbers.
Yeah, I know you've said this before, but they all are. All historical.
All the Big Finish ones are. The televised ones aren't.
They are. They are. We just look at them through a different optic because they're classic Who. But if you look at all...
No, I don't accept that. The Smugglers would be fantastic, irrespective who's in it. The Romans is brilliant and has a comedy turn to it. The Aztecs is tightly plotted and has a real dark edge to it. So no, I don't accept that the televised historicals are by the numbers. Yes, you get some that are a bit also around. The Highlanders is a bit like that, but most of them aren't.
But the Marian Conspiracy draws together a lot of real historical characters and follows a loose thread through to the present day in terms of Thomas Whiteside. So all that is real historical fact, all woven through into Doctor Who. It's slotted in as events which could have happened in court with the Doctor involved and Evelyn. They're interesting characters. It's an engaging play. No, I won't hear a word against the Marian Conspiracy. I really loved it at the time. I still love it now.
Yeah, but you listen to a lot of shit.
I'll accept a lot of criticism of Big Finish stuff, but the Marian Conspiracy, no, it's a good play.
It's a competent play. I wouldn't put it as a good play. Now, a chunk of that is the fact that I don't particularly like historical stuff. So it's got to be good for me to be interested in it. And Marian Conspiracy wasn't. It might have been competent. It might have been okay if you like that kind of thing. For a historical to work for me, it needs to be more. And I can't think of a Big Finish one that has done a sufficiently competent historical to be interesting.
Well, The Settling, that was another historical, and again by Jack Rayner. It was all to do with Oliver Cromwell. And again, all set at Drogheda and real events with the Doctor and co woven through it, with Oliver Cromwell reacting in a way that he would have done to a throwaway comment by Hex that caused him to just detonate.
I don't think it's one that I've heard, because by then I think I'd given up on Big Finish, so I can't comment on that one. But I had a look through the list, and I quite liked some of the stuff that she's adapted of other people's work, but I didn't see a single one that I thought, oh yeah, that was good, I enjoyed that. And there are quite a number that I've listened to.
It speaks volumes. We've just spent the past 5 minutes talking about other things. Bottom line, we didn't like Doctor Who and the Pirates. Shall we rate this in earworms?
Yeah, go on.
This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
Out of 10. I'm going to give it 2.
Yeah.
Because of the attempt at trying something different. It is well produced. It's well acted. It's only something Big Finish could ever attempt. They'd never try this on TV. Because it's there, because they've tried it, because they've put the money into it, and because it's well performed. 2 out of 10, but I will not be going back to you.
See, I don't really care about any of that. Big Finish will put out stuff with Doctor Who on. It will sell. It doesn't matter how shit it is. As I've said before, they could put out a 3-hour CD of Colin Baker taking a dump, and it would still sell.
Oh, what a lovely image.
The Doctor opens the Eye of Tartarus. That would sell. So the fact that Big Finish were able to make this and sell this means absolutely nothing, because they could sell the test card if it had Doctor Who written on it.
So how many are you giving it?
2. And I'm giving it a 2 because I think in general there are good performances. I didn't want to claw my own ears off in the way that I did with the Lovecraft Invasion or Count Arthur Strong or any of the other fucking awful stuff that we've done. But it has almost nothing to recommend it. So that's why it's not any higher than a 2.
And they'll continue singing it forever just because.
So on that rather savage note, we're going to recommend something else to listen to. It's Podcast of the Week.
Oh, no, we don't do this for the really shit ones.
Oh, you're quite right. We don't. So, yep, no podcast of the week this month.
No, there is nothing that I'm going to sully by association with this bollocks.
However, next time we are carrying on our pirate season, but whenever we do this level of savagery, we do always salve the wound by listening to something good from Big Finish.
So, what I was thinking, once we finish our pirate season, we could do a Big Finish thing that is kind of piratey adjacent in space.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Sandman, with the whole flotilla of ships going along and a big shiny giant magical egg?
I haven't listened to that in about 20 years. Let's do it.
An unbelievable, absolutely stellar performance from Anneke Wills.
Oh, yeah, it's Anneke Wills, isn't it? I forgot
It
that.
really gives her a chance to stretch her acting muscles because it's so different to Polly and brilliantly, brilliantly done.
Stay tuned, kids. We'll do that in a couple of releases' time. And next time, it's the Big Finish version of Treasure Island, starring Tom Baker.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to think of him other than his turn in Blackadder as a pirate.
Captain Rum. I'm hoping he turns in that performance. He can't help himself. I've never heard it, but I've bought it. I've tracked it down on CD. So, yeah, let's give that a whirl. That will be our next piratey adventure. Until then, boys and girls, thank you for paying another visit to the archive. Take care. We'll be with you soon.
Bye-bye.
The Archive of Audio Antiquities featured Simon Exton and Ken Moss, and the announcer was Jenny at Blue Box 99. All featured soundtracks are the property of their respective producers, and no infringement of copyright is intended. Title music was by Edward White, and the programme was produced by Maverick Productions. For more information, please visit maverickproductionsuk.blogspot.com or find us on social media.